Today's procedure coding case study focuses on how to code a laparoscopic right hemicolectomy using ICD-10 PCS. I'll take you through an operative report and then break down the procedure step by step to build the ICD-10 PCS code. My name is Claire and I'm an inpatient coding auditor. In my coding tips and tricks videos, you'll discover valuable insights to help sharpen your medical coding skills and code with confidence. If that sounds like something that would be helpful to you, please consider hitting that subscribe button so that you can be notified whenever I release new content. When reviewing an operative report for PCS code assignment, the best place to start is by reviewing the title of the report and the reason for the procedure. This will help you to understand why the procedure is being done. Once you understand the purpose or the objective of the procedure, you can start to figure out what the root operation might be. In this case, the procedure is a laparoscopic right hemicolectomy and it's being done because of colon cancer. The intent of a right hemicolectomy is to completely remove the right colon. In ICD-10 PCS, the right colon is defined as its own distinct body part. So if the entire right colon is removed as intended, the root operation will be resection. Of course, we shouldn't rely solely on the title of the op report, so we'll need to read the entire report to confirm this. Let's start building our code. The first character of the procedure code always specifies the section. The section identifies the general type of procedure. In this case, we're coding a surgical procedure, so we will select the medical and surgical section. For the second character, we need to select the body system that this procedure is being performed in. The title of the op report tells us that this procedure was performed on the right colon, which is a part of the gastrointestinal system. We will confirm this in the body of the op report as well. The third character in our PCS code is for the root operation. If the surgeon removes the entire right colon as indicated in the operative report's title, the root operation will be resection. This is because in ICD-10 PCS, the right colon is considered a separate body part, and resection is defined as cutting out or off without replacing an entire body part, including any subdivisions that have their own body part value in PCS. A right hemicolectomy involves removing the cecum, ascending colon, hepatic flexure, the proximal to mid portion of the transverse colon, and a distal portion of the ileum. Let's review the operative report to confirm which structures were included in the resection. After gaining access, the surgeon proceeded to mobilize the intestine. Once the colon was fully mobilized up to the mid to distal transverse colon, the terminal ileum and the mid-transverse colon were transected and the specimen was extracted. Reviewing our anatomy of the right colon, we can see that by cutting across the distal transverse colon and the terminal ileum, the specimen would include the cecum, ascending colon, and hepatic flexure. Therefore, we have confirmed that the entire right colon was removed, validating our root operation of resection. Now to determine our fourth character, which represents the body part. The body part indicates the specific part of the body system on which the procedure was performed. We've already determined by the title of the report and by verifying the structures removed that our body part is going to be the right colon. When selecting your body part from the table, you will always want to select the most specific body part available. And as we already discussed, the right colon does have its own body part value, so you'll want to make the selection for the large intestine right, rather than just selecting the large intestine. Now to determine the approach for this procedure, which will represent the fifth character. The approach is the technique used to reach the site of the procedure. The title of the op report indicates that the intended approach for this procedure was laparoscopic, and we'll need to confirm that in the description of the procedure. In a laparoscopic approach, the surgeon creates tiny incisions. Through these incisions, they introduce a tube to fill the abdomen with carbon dioxide gas. This allows them to insert a laparoscope for visualization, as well as creating more space for them to work in. Additional small incisions are made to insert surgical instruments and perform the procedure. Let's review the operative report description to confirm if it was done using a laparoscopic approach. The surgeon describes that they made an incision and inserted a trocar. They then filled the abdominal cavity with CO2 gas to obtain pneumoperitoneum. After that, they inserted a scope and performed laparoscopic exploration to make sure that everything looked good to proceed with the surgery. Additional trocars were then placed to complete the surgical access. This description meets the definition of percutaneous endoscopic approach, which is defined as entry by puncture or minor incision of instrumentation through the skin or mucous membrane and any other body layers necessary to reach and visualize the site of the procedure. A percutaneous endoscopic approach involves the percutaneous method to reach the procedure site and the introduction of instruments into the body part to perform the procedure. The term endoscopic in this context refers to instruments that allow visualization of the surgical site. I'd like to take a moment to discuss and clarify the final paragraph of the operative report. After the laparoscopic mobilization of the right intestine, the surgeon extended the incision and brought the ball up through that incision. They then made the final cuts to free the specimen and completed the anastomosis. This may cause confusion regarding whether this qualifies as an open approach, but it does not. According to the PCS guidelines, procedures performed using the percutaneous endoscopic approach with hand assistance or with an incision or extension of an incision to help remove a body part or connect a tubular body part are coded as percutaneous endoscopic. Now let's move on to the assignment of character number 6 in our PCS code, which is for device selection. When it comes to PCS coding, device selection refers to any material or appliance that stays in or on the body after a procedure is done. It's important to understand that materials like sutures, ligatures, radiological markers, and temporary postoperative wound drains are considered routine components of a procedure and should not be coded as devices. In the case of this specific procedure, there's no device involved, and the only option in the table for the device selection is Z, indicating no device. The 7th and final character in our PCS code selection is the qualifier character. A qualifier specifies an additional attribute of the procedure if applicable. For this procedure, our only qualifier option is Z, no qualifier. And now we have our final PCS code. 0DT F4ZZ, resection, right large intestine, percutaneous endoscopic approach. So that's it for today's procedure coding case study. I really hope that this video was helpful for you. If it was, please give it a thumbs up, and if there's any procedures that you would like me to cover in the future, just leave a comment below and I'll add them to my list. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy coding.